Hello, welcome to the video. I'm Melissa, I write books, and welcome to, hopefully, a slow weekend. I have been outlining a new book. I don't know. Yes, you have clicked on the correct Alyssa and the Books video. I know, I'm in the middle of a very intense line edit. I'm aware. I'm fully aware. And here's the crazy thing. It's fancy. Don't know. I have done a full Save the Cat outline of this book. It has more of an outline than Project Sunshine did. It has a Pinterest board, it has a playlist, it has a whole customized Scrivener document. I don't know. If you haven't seen my last video, I've been trying to slow down a little bit, which is strange for me. And I don't know how well it's going. I remembered this week, that when I'm not going super hard, sometimes I don't make any movement at all. I struggle to be just at a normal, regular pace. I struggle to write it just like one chapter a day. For some reason, my brain is like all or nothing, you know? Like I really thrive on that momentum of getting a lot of words done, but that is not sustainable for me right now. So, or maybe it is. No, not to that extent, not to that degree. I need more breaks. So I have I think a free weekend. Yeah, winter, what else is there to do? I might write a little bit of this fantasy project. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna really talk about this one, but knowing me, I probably will. We'll give it the alias Never Been. Project Never Been. It has characters, it has an outline, it has world building. I don't know. The closest thing I've written to fantasy is it was fully dystopian. It was fully like Hunger Games dystopian vibes. And I wrote like a science fiction audio drama, but it takes place in the real world though. I don't know if I would really consider that. And honestly, I don't even know if it's fiction anymore. I feel like what happened in that book could happen. Regardless, I would like to though make some movement in Gas Station. I'm on chapter 18 out of like 50. In my past videos, I talked about like getting a beta reader for mid-February, and the goal of that beta read is for the book to be like totally done. And that is just really not gonna happen. So I talked to that person and told them I'd reach back out to see if they had availability when the book is done. Like I'm not gonna put a deadline on it. I would like to do for sure one chapter of that today. Also, today I found out there's a puzzle competition happening. So I will be going. And it says teams up to 4, but I'm doing it myself. I don't like doing puzzles with other people. I mean, okay, it's fine to do puzzles with other people, but in like a competitive setting, I need to just be locked in, me and my puzzle. I did a full puzzle in like 2 hours last week. It's a 500-piece puzzle. I've been studying it. It's actually really cute. There's this whole like day in our downtown community. It's called like, it's that Swedish term, I think it's like hygge, I think is how it's pronounced, where it's like cozy winter vibes. If you're sweet, I'm sorry, that's not the correct definition of it, but they're having like there's like a coffee crawl and like a puzzle competition, and you can like make a can. Like there's gonna be a silent reading party. I don't know if I'm gonna go to all those things, but again, I've been dealing with some weird anxiety, so but I'm not gonna let that stop me from doing a puzzle competition because I want to do it. It's a very busy puzzle, so I think that, you know, that'll be a journey, but I'm excited about it. Okay, puzzle tip from Alyssa. I don't do the edges first. I separate the edges to their own pile. I do, but I separate, like the first thing I do, I just separate all the pieces into all of their colored boxes. But I don't spend too much time like really like, ooh, analyzing, does this exactly look? If there's like a distinct pattern, like if there's like a yellow blue stripe thing, I put all of those together. Like this puzzle that I'm doing right now has a lot of green leaves. And so like these green leaves are pretty distinct and these green leaves are pretty distinct, but all of the rest of the green leaves kind of look similar. And so I categorize them like, if there's ones that's like super obvious, I put those together, and then I put like kind of by color and shape. And then I just start and then I just go. I wonder if there's like people in my town who are aggressive puzzlers. I wouldn't consider myself this is like my first venture into competitive puzzling. Maybe this will be my new hobby and this channel will just turn into competitive hobby puzzling. I would like to write a little bit of this fantasy book. It's very, I don't know if it's ever anything I would really query. Maybe, I don't know what it'll end up being, but I read a lot on KU. A lot of times it's soft fantasy, enemies to lovers, but it's like really a romance subplot. It's like a romance plot, you know. Sometimes they get super spicy, which is I don't really write. Like I'm thinking like the Bridge Kingdom, which is not a KU book. I guess it is on KU, but the princess has to go to the neighboring kingdom, but it's like really about the two people. But that book actually does get a little like whoa, fantasy, you know, like what I'm saying is it's not the Poppy War. It's not like it's not like this major like political fantasy like hundreds of characters vibes at this point in time. It's very much just all of the tropes that I like in fantasy. And honestly, I think I'm just writing it for fun. But I say that, we'll see. I'm not gonna put any goals on that either, but we'll see how long this whole no goals thing works for me, because I think it's a good intention, especially given like I don't want to burn out and so I need to slow down. But I don't know if having no goals really works for me. I'm living and learning how I operate, but I know how I operate, but like this anxiety is new. This regular thing is new, and so I'm just kind of learning like what kind of things should I be doing and not doing without letting it take over my life. That's how it's going. So puzzle competition, new fantasy book, question mark. Also editing a little bit of Gas Station, slow and steady, I guess. And the thing about Gas Station is it's 50 chapters, which is a lot, but also if I did 1 chapter a day, there's like 30 chapters left. Like that would not be the end of the world at all. At all. It would not be the end of the world at all to only spend to do 1 chapter a day. Like if I zoom out, like I could still be working on this book in May and it would be fine. So that's great. I'm just trying to reframe while still feeling like myself, because it's this balance, because it's like taking things really slow and not writing a lot doesn't feel like me, you know. But I am more than writing. Like I'm more than my goals, and so I think I need to remember that sometimes. What does that actually look like daily? I don't know. We're figuring it out. I will see you. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of puzzling this morning, just to like, you know, get the muscles in the brain going with the puzzle organization strategy. But I don't want to go too hard on the puzzle this morning, so I'm like puzzled out. But I guess it starts in like an hour and a half, so maybe I'll puzzle for like 15 minutes and then get ready for the day and maybe write a little bit. You know more than I do. I'll see you later. This parking lot is very full. And if all these people are here for the puzzle competition, I think I'm gonna lose. Okay, I'm the only one doing it solo, but I still have a chance, I think. The piece size, I don't know, they look a little bit stiff, but I think it'll be good. I've been studying the page like a psychopath, so I'm ready to organize and mobilize. Okay, update on the puzzle competition, because apparently that's what this vlog is now. It's a puzzle vlog. I don't know why I thought I could do a 500-piece puzzle in 2 hours. Also, everyone else had 4 people on their team. It was not really very competitive. It's like this whole like cozy day in the town sort of situation. So it was not high pressure. I just listened to my audiobook, but I did puzzle for an hour and a half, and I got through. I'll show you the clip of how much I got through. And I have a few critiques of the puzzle itself. It was one of those make your own puzzles. So it had like a design that they clearly designed, because it's like a craft store. And then they had the puzzle from that. But the colors were not consistent with the picture. And also like the pieces didn't quite like fit. Like usually in a puzzle there's like uniqueness in the pieces, so you can tell that they actually fit each other. That was not the case with like a lot of them are very similar, and the coloring was just a little off in the printing. So I'm not making excuses, but and I think it would have served me well to do edges first for this one, because I couldn't categorize. There's like these strings that go all over the place, and like it's just like a lot of little tiny things. But there's like yarn, but then there's yarn all on all of the different parts of the puzzle. Like it was a more challenging puzzle, and all the colors were off, but it was fun. It was still fun. It was just fun, like all these people puzzling. The team that won did it in like 40 minutes. I do think I did like about half of the puzzle, and so if there were 4 of me, I think I could have won. I feel like I want to go home and work on my puzzle, strangely enough. Also, the book I'm reading, they just need to kiss. Well, actually, they just did. But they need to stop being dramatic. They need to, like, just be together, you know? But they kind of are together, but I don't know what's going to happen in the last hour of this book. All the secrets have been revealed. I think I was talking about this in my last vlog, but in the book, she writes a book. But she's not a writer. But he is. But it's like this whole thing. And she submits it to this, because he's an author, and so he, like, read her book, and he was like, it's so good. And then he was like, I'll ask my agent if they have anybody who would be interested. And I was like, if this girl gets an agent, I'm gonna be PO'd. Anyway, but she got a response from the agent that was very like, this book is garbage. And I was like, what a day. What a book to be reading at this time in my life. I could go to the library. Hello. I've been feeling very present recently, or maybe absent. One of the two, despite those being opposite words. And I feel like I've been absent in a lot of ways, being in the know. What's going on? But also I feel very like aware of myself. I don't know what this clip is. I've taken some time to slow down a little bit, as aforementioned. I've been kind of getting some perspective on writing. I think it's like the most common advice in the world to say that writing should be fun. Like, people say this all the time. Like, almost every writing vlog, or 1 in every 5 writing vlogs, people will be talking about how writing is supposed to feel good and it's supposed to be fun. And that's never really okay. I have fun when I'm writing, like I know I do. Otherwise, why would I be doing this to myself? But like, there's a lot of the process that is not fun. It's all different. And I think I've just been so focused and so driven. And I think everything has a basement and has a ceiling. And what I mean by this is like every trait has positives and has negatives. So like everything does. And so if you're, let's say, really friendly and like to get along with everybody, right? Like that's the high, that's like the ceiling of that, is that you can make friends with a lot of people, that you're great in a party, you know, but the basement of that is sometimes it can be difficult to have like really close friendships with 1 or 2 people because you're friends with so many people, right? This is just an arbitrary example, just to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about here. But I think being driven and being focused, the ceiling of that is I get a lot done and I make movement in the projects, and that is fun to get through drafts and to see the book get better fast and get things query ready faster than I would, you know, otherwise. But I think the basement of that is that this is supposed to be fun and it has made me a little bit narrow-minded when it comes to my process and my writing in general, because I'm very focused on getting the next book where it needs to be. And so like starting another book, daydreaming about another project, writing something random that doesn't tie into my current like publication like queue of things is like not even a thought. When I had this idea, like I read so much fantasy, you guys. Like I mostly read fantasy and romance. Not even a lot of thrillers, I'll be honest, because thrillers make me sad because a lot of them are very dark. But there have been thrillers that I've really enjoyed. And I like the thriller elements of other type genre. Like this is not what this conversation is about. I'm not justifying why I read thrillers, but I think it's like I have this idea of like, hear me out, because I know that fantasy is marketable, like that it is popular and that it sells. And similar to every genre when it comes to Trap Hub is it sells, but it has to be unique. It has to have some sort of twist. It has to have some sort of thing that makes it stand out to an agent or an editor or a publisher. Maybe it's a twist on an older book. I don't know, because there's so many fantasy books. Like there's fantasy books about pretty much anything, especially if you go to like KU, which is Kindle Unlimited, and like there is every plot known to man. And the ideas I have for fantasy are not particularly original. I mean, obviously any story that you write is influenced by other things, but I never have like a concept that's like, ooh, this would be a great fantasy concept. Like the concepts that are original that I come up with are usually in the thriller vein. For some reason, I don't know why. I do love to read certain tropes in fantasy, but I have never had like, oh, this would be a great, like this would be really marketable and fresh. And also I don't know if I want to write fantasy forever because it's a lot of commitment to like world building. And honestly, the way that people hype over fantasy is a little scary too. I had never really thought about writing it before, and I'm like very seriously, because I've been like, okay, well, get the next thriller up to par, right? When I go to Kindle Unlimited in the evening and I'm looking for something to read before I go to bed, I'm looking for like a certain tropes and certain types of characters. And I've read so many of them now. If you're curious as to what it is, I'm sure you could tell. It's when there's like the books that have like a really strong couple at their center, and maybe there's like misunderstanding. Sometimes it's enemies to lovers. Even better if he like kidnaps her early on, but like not in a bad way, and then she gets kidnapped for real later. And I've read so many of these, and I really do enjoy them. Like, I like the stakes of fantasy. I like the things that you can do in fantasy. And I just never really seriously thought about spending time doing that, because it's like, well, that book's already been, I've read like 50 versions of that book, you know? And it would be something that I would feel like it would have more possibility in like self-publishing or just not being published at all, you know? I don't know, I just never like gave it time, like actual, like a genuine, like, oh, let's do this, you know, because that doesn't fit into the master timeline of my life. I've been line editing for so long, and I've always said like line editing and scene editing is a different skill than revising, is a different skill than like drafting. And I have been line editing and scene editing for a very long time with Gas Station. And yes, I drafted a new book in November, but even then, like, I was so focused honestly on other things. I felt like I don't even know what happens in that book, I'm gonna be honest. And like, there's so much pressure with that one for some reason. I don't know why. I really did enjoy writing that book, but I have just been feeling this pull to like draft something new that doesn't matter, that is just fun. Everyone watching is probably like, yeah, Alyssa, like that's what most of us do. We write for fun. And I don't. I have fun while I'm writing, and it's something that's very fulfilling to me, but it's work. It's always work. It's always like, is this the best move? Is this the best sentence? Is this the best character? Does this all make sense? Like, it's not like I'm like, but I'm also kicking my feet and giggling and like having a good time writing scenes. Like, don't get me wrong. And I think if you've seen my videos, I think you kind of get that, like it's a mixed bag. But writing something like this where it's just really trope indulgent, really like we don't have to care if it is too similar and cliche. And then it was so funny because as I was like doing this outline, I got into the flow, which I don't really know if I fully believe in like flow state, like trying to like manipulate yourself to get into this flow state, but it does happen. It happens to me a lot in video editing where you kind of like lose track of time and are just working on something in it, and you don't feel the need to stop. Like you don't feel the need to start a timer and like you just, it flows. And that is not something I experience most of the time, honestly. But as I was outlining, I was just writing like, here's a general like idea, and like here's some character names, and here's like a Save the Cat Beat sheet outline of it. And as I was outlining it, I was like, maybe this actually is like something I don't think I would query it on its own. I don't know, maybe, but like it was more original than I realized. I was writing the outline and I was like, oh, like why would that happen? And instead of having to like dig for all of the reasons, which happens in thrillers because you're just digging for red herrings and for clues on like what actually did happen, like why would they think that, you know, like that kind of thing. With this, I was like, oh, why would, like what's really going on? And I was like, well, it could be this. It just like all was really clicking together in that way that I think most like writers just like yearn for, that feeling of the story clicking itself into place. And it really did. It was kind of crazy. Like I think in like 45 minutes, this whole plot really just came together, and like maybe a book too. I don't know. I'm gonna try something different with this book where every other first draft, this is crazy actually, every other first draft, with the exclusion of my first book, which took 4 years to write, I have written the first draft of during NaNoWriMo. Every single one. And so during NaNoWriMo, you're like, words, 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 right? And every first draft I've ever written has been in that setting. And then I spend the year revising, and sometimes 2 years revising, and then I write a new one, you know? I don't know, I'm gonna lean into what's fun, but also I'm gonna edit as I go, because I'm gonna dictate it. I'm pretty sure I'll dictate and write, and I'll probably type sometimes too, but I think it's gonna be third person. And I think it's gonna be just one POV for now. And I really actually am super excited about it. I don't know, there's a lot that I like about it. And it's like, it's the book that I'm looking for in KU when I'm like, I just need to read some like, ooh, like a couple driven fantasy with a lot of stakes, but not like political stakes. There's a little bit of that, but like we're in danger, we're rescuing each other. We are, you know, like that kind of stakes where it's just like a lot of danger is happening, but it's also like feels very, their love for each other is at the center of the book, you know? I haven't fully decided. I'm trying to believe or trying to aim for doing 1 or 2 chapters of gas station editing as well. Like have that be the thing that I really try to do every day, and then have this project be the reward, you know? And I've never written seriously 2 projects at once. No, because I tried to edit gas station and the wedding season at the same time, and it just like didn't work. Like, and both of them were in revision, so I think that's a little tricky. Or one was in editing, one was in revision, and I think they are also both like adult thrillers. Like they're both in the same sort of vibe. But I don't know, dictating a new draft seems so vastly different from line editing gas station. And I'm okay taking gas station a little bit slower. I would love to have another like 24-hour weekend, like how that first day felt, where I got through like 30 pages in a day and was really in it. But I'm also okay taking 1 chapter at a time. And actually, like, maybe that's preferable, because maybe then I will come to each chapter of gas station. This is the adult thriller. Sorry if you're new, this is very confusing. But I don't want to take too much time between each chapter. Otherwise, like right now I'm afraid of chapter 18. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm afraid of it because I have to like write a half a chapter. I'm just like, I just don't want to look at it. But see, I don't want that to happen. So I want to make sure I'm touching gas station and doing gas station every day. I don't need to do 5 chapters a day. You know, like I can do 1 or 2 and like really put focused like energy. Like the first writing that I'm doing after I'm warmed up a little bit is that. And then having Never Been be this fun project. Right now, 17 minutes later, good Lord, this is gonna be another 50-minute vlog, isn't it? Let me know. I know that some people like longer vlogs. What are the vibes? If you like shorter vlogs, let me know. I can try to do a mix. But mostly I just talk all the time, forever. But it's 5 o'clock. I don't know how charged my phone is, but I might read for a little bit and then, I finished my book, by the way. She got a book deal at the end, whatever, it's fine. I knew she would. I knew in the epilogue they'd be like, 1 year later. I'm like, yeah, in 1 year you wrote and edited and published a book traditionally? Sure. I'm doing chapter 17 and 18. I've line edited through most of them. There's just like some scene rearranging, and like I have to like write a new, this is the most intense editing I've done in this past so far. Like everything else has been line level, and this is now like actually writing into the book a little bit. I don't know how many of those instances are gonna happen, because I'm about to come up to some newer scenes, so we'll just see. But that is the gas station and the Never Been update. Welcome back to dictating. Okay, let's see if I can get my voice typer back up in business. I'm a little nervous now. I was so excited. Now I'm like, oh, I have to write. It's the way I haven't done any world building. I don't actually care. It's Sunday afternoon. I work at a college, and so I just like went to like one of the buildings and did some writing because I just eaten, so I didn't want to go to a coffee shop, but I didn't, like, the library is closed, so just went there. I got through a chapter of Gas Station. And last night, I don't think I talked to you since then, but I did about, I think it was like 800 words or something of the new book. And this morning I edited through, so I dictated the words last night and then I edited through them this morning. It's a really different tone than I usually go for, and it's kind of fun. It's very different from thrillers, from like the first person present. It's like third person close past, which I'm liking. It's kind of it's like a adjustment. Like I keep accidentally saying I, you know, but it's going well. That one's fun. I've been listening to this, like, it's like a fantasy ambiance channel, and it has, technically I think it's for reading Fourth Wing, but it has been fun to like listen to that. And I just finished my puzzle, so now I'm like, do I keep it there and admire it for a little bit, or do I start a new puzzle? Also, like, what puzzle should I do? I'm out of new puzzles. I could do that. I have one I haven't done. It'd be about a year now. Yeah. It's like an underwater ocean one. I haven't done that one in a while, so I'll do that. The current chapter I was on, the one I just wrote earlier today or edited, I had to like write, I think it was probably around like 500 words or something like that to the end, because what I did was, it used to go 17 was Danny, 16 and 17 were Danny, and then 18 was, and 19 were Cal, and no, it was 18. Just 18 was Cal, but it was like a really long chapter that was kind of like broken into two. I just didn't love it. And so I wanted to take like the first part of Cal's chapter and put it between the two Danny chapters, but I had to split it, and then like it wasn't long enough. And then actually what I ended up adding, I think actually was really nice, because it solidified his motivation a little bit. Because the next thing that happens is like one chapter away, and he's like doing something pretty severe. And I feel like it's nice to remind like him and the reader, like, oh yeah, like the stakes are high for him, you know, just like another reminder of that. So it's kind of like this little like threat. Ooh. Okay, so I haven't talked to you in the whole week. It's now Friday, Valentine's Day. Woohoo. I know the last time I was talking about starting that ocean puzzle, because apparently that's what this vlog is a puzzle vlog. But I did also finish that puzzle, which means I finished 3 puzzles in 1 calendar week, which I think is maybe alarming. Is that like bad for me? I don't know, it feels pretty good. This is kind of a fun angle. I'd have to stand, but that's okay. Okay, I'm feeling very today. It's partially due to some drugs that I'm on. When you start a new medication, sometimes things are just all over the place. But I think I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble tonight. I wanted to do like a cute, like, writing sprints for single lonely people on Valentine's Day. So I might do that tonight. It's really just gonna depend on how I'm feeling, which I'm annoyed about because I just wanna do things that I wanna do. I don't wanna have to like, oh, do I feel good? Why? 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 Can I just feel fine? I haven't live streamed solo in a few weeks now, and honestly I haven't really live streamed at all in a few weeks. One of the live streams that I did a few weeks ago, I was really anxious, which is what I'm taking the medication for, everyone. Are we all caught up? I had a breakdown video a couple videos ago. If you want, I think it was the last video, check it out. This is so dystopian. Okay. And I think I just like don't, like, if I wanted to leave the live stream, I could, but it just feels like a little bit more pressure for no reason, even though I've done literally hundreds, maybe 100 live streams in my life. Like, this is not something that should be stressful. And I thought it would be fun to have like, make like a cute thumbnail and have just like a fun Friday night live stream. So I'm hoping I'm feeling up to that. Today ended up being a very busy day at work, which a busy Friday at work, like gross. But I think I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble and get a puzzle because I've earned it, okay? There is one puzzle that I haven't done like I haven't complete. Actually, there's 2 puzzles I own that I have not finished ever. I would get part of the way through and then those, it's like reading for me, actually. If I read a book in 2 or 3 days and I finish the book, but if it takes me longer than 2 days to finish a book, it takes a month. And then sometimes I DNF because I just like, it's taking too long, right? And the same is the thing with puzzles. There was one I was working on during November and I actually don't like this puzzle. It has these like bigger pieces and I'm like, you're taking the fun and joy away from me. It was just like, there were like these really huge pieces that were like, oh, a whole teapot. And I'm like, I wanted to make the teapot. That's the fun part. Anyway, I have so many puzzles and there's a few like that I haven't done in about a year. Like this was the first puzzle I bought and now I just redid it and I have another one that's like that I could do. But I kind of just want to go and maybe there'll be a book I want to get or I'll just get a puzzle. I also would like to write. I've been trying to go to a coffee shop all week. It's so weird to say because it's like, just go. But the problem is the coffee shop closes at 6. And so I've wanted to like, oh, I'll start work a little bit early and then go to the coffee shop at 4. So then I have like a good chunk of time. But then like every day this week, like Tuesday I was pretty busy and Monday I had just gone to like 3 coffee shops over the weekend. So I was like, maybe not. But then I just kept like having something to do after work or like I would eat something sweet at the end of like, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to go and like get something to eat at this coffee shop because I just had something to eat. Do you know what I mean? And so I didn't want to get like another thing, but then I was like, if I'm gonna go to the coffee shop, like I want to get a coffee and a treat, but I'm like, I don't want to like get a treat when I don't even want a treat. You know? I had all these plans this morning to get up and go to the coffee shop at 6 this morning when it opened, but I just did not go. Just did not get up. Just didn't do it. So yeah. I'm not even going to a coffee shop today because it's like 5. So then I would only have an hour and I like want to go to a coffee shop and like be there. So I'm gonna tomorrow morning for sure go to a coffee shop. Like write it in your notebook. I'm going to a coffee shop tomorrow, but I don't know if you're gonna see that because I don't know if I'm gonna continue this video onto tomorrow because it's already 40 minutes long. Let's all breathe together, okay? Okay, let's go to Barnes & Noble. Except I don't know if I want to go right this second because it's like 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna hit all the traffic. So like maybe 5:30 I'll go and I'll get a puzzle and I'll wander around the bookstore. They don't have good seating there anymore. They used to have nice seating. And the Barnes & Noble Cafe is garbage sauce where I live. Like, it's a Starbucks technically, but the pastries are always stale and the coffee is never done correctly. I feel like every time I go there, it's a new person being trained in, which like, I love that for you, career woman, but like, can you make me a coffee that tastes good? You know, and I don't want to like waste all my coffee shop money at a bad coffee, you know? So I don't know if I'm going to bring my writing to do there. I haven't, it's been 2 nights ago. On Wednesday night, I went to Brielle's stream and did some editing and writing. Did I even? I think I just wrote in Never Been. I don't even think I edited Gas Station. There was one day this week, like I just really have not done much writing at all this week, which has made me sad. Like I've just, when I would get to the end of the day and like, oh, I didn't have time to write, I was just like, oh, it's boring. Because the part of it's like, okay, I didn't make the progress I wanted, but then part of it's like, this is such like a fulfilling part of my life. If I think about it, I have a very simple life. I go to work, I read and I write. I have friends and family and stuff, but it's not like a regular all the time thing, you know? And writing is a big part of what I do. And when I don't do it, it feels like there's something missing. And I think it's good to take breaks and not go so hard, but also it's something I love. So I want to do it more, but also it's been stressful. Also this section, I'm at like, I guess I did read through all my beta reader feedback yesterday, so that counts. But like this section specifically, it's just clunkier than I'd like it to be. And it just, I'm worried I'm writing around the action a little bit. I know I am. I keep doing this. I think it's actually okay because in the second half, because it leaves a little bit of mystery, which I like, but also like if you're reading if I was reading a book and we were at a bank robbery and we didn't see the bank robbery, I'd be like, hello? where is the bank robbery? But you do see it. Like, you see the beginning of it in one POV, and then you see the aftermath of it in the next one. But there's other points in the book where you see like the action of it. Actually, the next one you do. So it's like, it's okay, but the next video that I post probably is reviewing beta reader feedback, and I'm about to get to the second half where I just got some feedback about it's right after the midpoint, and I need to add in a chapter. I do. And I'm very annoyed about it because it's my least favorite kind of chapter to write, which is why I didn't write it in the first place. But she has to figure something out. And I just had her figure it out off the page. And my reader was like, Melissa, how did she know that? She can't just have known that. Like, she needs to have a reason for why she knew that. How does she know? Ooh. Ooh. Alyssa, in their conversation in the new date scene, I tied into this whole thing, but how would that work? Wait, no, she doesn't need a fake name. She could just go to the hospital and ask. Okay. Oh, okay. 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 I have to write a new chapter. I hate it, but that's not even the next thing. It's not even the next thing. I still have like probably 2 weeks before I'm gonna get there at this pace. But, this video's so long. I need to go to the library. Library. We're gonna go to the library tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna go to the coffee shop and then the library. It's gonna be wonderful. And right now we're gonna go to Barnes & Noble. Consumerism. Okay, bye.
Sadness wrapped around a frame, would you see yourself?
These people are awake at 2 in the morning. It's stressing me out. It's stressing me out. Why are they all awake at 2 in the morning? 2 in the morning?
Was buried in responsibility. I know it's hard to see.
A great deal of hope, period. At first, she worried that maybe they would take her up on it.
Written in the stars and embroidered in your name, but never was. How it hurts to know.
Good morning, it's Saturday. We're gonna end this video with a Barnes & Noble haul, which I did not give you yesterday. I did end up live streaming yesterday, which was good. I was excited to be able to get back into that. It's just been a little rough around here recently, and so it was nice to get back to some of the things that I love to do. So that was so fun. I don't know if I would recommend it if you're trying to get like serious writing done, but it was a time. So the things I bought at Barnes & Noble are insane. So the first thing I got, let's start with the most normal thing, is this puzzle. This is kind of what the shape of it will look like. So it's one that, this is similar to the ocean one that I was doing, and I like these ones because they're very segmented, so you can sort out the pieces easier. And then I got grade 6 through 8 algebra workbook because I feel like I just want to learn math better. I just feel like it's good for your brain to keep doing stuff like this and keep learning, and I don't know, maybe this is a sign of how deep I don't know, it's just like a fun thing to do. I like puzzles for the same reason, I think, like solving something that's pretty mindless, but you can listen to something, but it consumes your brain. So I just wanted another avenue to do that because I don't want to get sick of puzzles, because I don't know what would happen if I got sick of puzzles that we would be done for. But so yeah, I got 6th through 8th grade algebra workbook. I don't know. I did get one more thing I gotta show you. Though I have many notebooks, I've not purchased one like recently, and I want to start journaling maybe a little more, and just like I use notebooks a lot, but like very randomly. So I got this one. It's like I think it's faux leather or maybe real. I don't know. But the edges Can you see? There's also a little bee. So it said it's a bee still journal. So it's like little honeycombs and then a bee on the front. So yeah, I'm hoping I actually write in it. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a coffee shop today and then probably start another video. So an eye out. Drop me a bee emoji in the comments down below. Hopefully there is one. There has to be a bee emoji, right? Right? Okay, well, I will see you so soon. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.